Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to our show. My name is Augustina Anyanwutina. And sit down, relax, as to be able to enjoy our show today. So, my co-host is here, Mrs. glorynezemma. Welcome, my dear.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, our topic today, my co-host has already introduced me, so I don't need to introduce myself.
You can still do it again.
My name is glorynezemma. Welcome to our sweet home, Nigeria. All right, our topic today is expensive burial. I know that our people, we mourn our dead so much, which is true. It's always good to mourn, but we have to look into our burial ceremonies, which is really, really
expensive.
Draining.
Yes.
Draining.
Expensive.
The bereaved. Bereaved. Because actually where we are in the Western world, when people die, the bereaved, the families actually receive gifts. People come and help them. It's not the opposite way for them to spend so much, even they spend what they don't have. Sometimes they end up borrowing just to bury someone. Yes. So that's what we're going to look into today. So my dear friend, have you had the burial ceremonies? Because actually now I'm hearing that sometimes people bury people with like 1 million naira, 2 million naira, 3 million naira, and they have to buy like 6 or 7 or even 10 namas to bury people.
I don't know about 10 namas, but I know. Actually, I will talk based on experience because I know when my mom died, I knew how much it cost us to, to bury her. So it wasn't an easy money. But in Nigeria, especially in our own area, they will tell you that, if the whole thing is based on wherever people rate you, not where you are.
Okay.
So based on that, the coffin will be different, the lama, the ceremony, even the church. Some churches have different, sub groups, like St. Rose or St. Rita. I never heard about that before. So when they come, everybody need a canopy. They need their own portion of food.
But they need lama too.
Yeah, you got to put the money. You got to put the meat. They know a certain portion. You have to meet it. It's just like somebody giving you a prospectus. What you have to give them. They're there to, to support you.
They give you a list of what you need to
Not really a list. There's a requirement. If they need a basin of rice, cooked rice with some portion of meat, and their own drinks, you got to provide it. I don't think everybody is reasoning that this dead person have already created a vacuum. And financially, especially if it's the head of the household or the provider of the family, I don't think people realize that. What they look forward is their own canopy. Where are we going to sit? Where is Saint this? Where is the Christian father? Where is the Christian mother? What about if it's a woman? The maternal place, your maternal place, that one is like you got to appease them. If not, there will be no burial. Wow. You have to appease them. If they come, you got to get tea, you got to get Ovaltine, you got to get chocolate, you got to get soap to take a bath. You got to buy the llama. Not only the llama, you got to wrap clothes on top of it. They told me that I have to get a wrapper for the llama. This I was like... because I never noticed anything like that before. I never witnessed something like that before. But the amount of money you will spend to bury your dead, if you take it, you can train a child in school. It's not funny. I'm just saying I don't know what we can do to cut down on that. Because you're not talking about the band. Because some people make it like it's a ceremony. You got to call the live band. You have to buy the decent coffin. Go ahead, I will let you to talk. Because like I said, I was talking based on experience. Because you got to have hired mourners now. And those that carry the coffin, the ones that dance, they will throw it. They will catch the dead bodies inside. All these young men, and they dress right, though. They dress good. So they carry your dead for you. You don't even need to bother anybody.
And you pay them a lot of money.
You pay them money. And, is what I'm saying is like the money, especially if it's a woman, the money, there are people, demand. That's the only way they can come and do their little thing. Maybe the church have to look into it more.
Okay.
You understand? So I don't know what you have witnessed, what you have been part of, or what you had that we got to ask our people to please slow it down. Especially some of us outside, we borrow money for transportation. We have to leave money for our children over here before we get home to do the ceremony. And then by the time you come home, some of us get sick when you come back here because you don't know how to pay those debts.
Exactly.
So what do you have to say?
Thank you so much, my friend. I know, it sounds like a fairy tale to me.
No, it's not.
And it's not that I haven't, had a burial. When my mother died, actually, I had a very decent one. And people came, but I spent what I can afford. I did not go extra miles in terms of trying to spend millions of dollars to impress people. I didn't do that. Because when you look at it, the money that we're spending, you're talking about maybe how much are the namas?
I don't know. I really don't know because the prices increase now every day
in
because
Naira.
A lot of people are using lama.
Exactly. In Naira, I had that it's about maybe 150,000 Naira. I'm not very sure. Forgive me if I underrated the price. But when you look at it, let's use 150,000 Naira. And then when you multiply it, you know how much it's going to be. Okay, let's say, I had that sometimes.
By how many lama?
Sometimes people buy 6 or 7.
Let's say 2. Even 2 is too much.
Yes. And then you have some families that they have to allocate like a certain amount of money that they have to bring. So let's say if someone is bringing 200,000 Naira.
Oh, I have somebody, I have an in-law that the mom passed. It's 5 of them. They asked him to bring 350,000 Naira. So, because he's the youngest, others got a bigger share. So, in that case, you got to know what this man does for a living. You got 4 little children, you got a wife to feed. So, maybe the mother been sick and they've been there taking care of the mom. So, after the mother died, you got to pay that amount of money to help. Eventually, you're going to borrow some. You understand? So, I think we have to do better.
Exactly. So going back to what I was saying, actually, when you look at it, if the price is, if people are paying like 200,000 for 1 hour, so you're talking about 5 of them, which is a million Naira. So instead of wasting that money, because I call it a waste, because the dead is gone. The dead is gone.
She don't know, he or she don't know what is going on.
Exactly.
And they're not going to eat any of it.
And this is ceremony that I think, I'll call it unnecessary.
Ceremony for the living.
Exactly. Because when you look at it, what they're doing is that they're eating that nama after like 24 hours. It has digested in their body. So, but if you can channel that money, let's say instead of using 1 million Naira to bury someone, if it is, let's say, a young person that has 2 or 3 children, that money can go a long way to train those children in school.
You're right.
What I suggest sometimes is that I tell them, instead of even wasting that money in something that you're going to eat, they can establish what is called like a scholarship fund for those children, and then put that money in there so that at least the children can go to school. And then even let's say if it is a widow and the husband died, and they're using like 2 or 3 million to bury the husband. If you give that widow the 2 or 3 million,
it's the other way around.
Exactly, both sides. If you give that widow or widower the money, she can start a business, she can do something to be able to feed the children. And then the man can even start a business and be able to take care of the children too. So why do we have to waste money like that? So I don't even know where the ceremony started. I don't know who brought this idea of spending like millions and millions of Naira for burial.
I have no clue. Even what about our people now staying months, 9 months in a mortuary? What are you keeping a dead person for that long length of time?
Maybe they're waiting for the dead person to get up.
No, maybe their family is not ready financially. They just got to get the money together. So that because the money, whatever that is required of them is more than they can handle. But they will say, they will say, oh, my mother will be buried in December, and it's still January of a particular year. Then you have to leave somebody. Yes.
Okay.
So because, sometimes we budget for other people based on how you envision them, what you think about them. But in their package, you don't know if they have it or not.
And some of them do not have jobs. They have to borrow from someone.
Yeah. No, they lose their job. So because people see you, maybe you have upstairs, downstairs, or whatever, they just rate you that way. And then that's the expectation people have on you. And because of that, you say, oh, she will be buried December. I come home December and bury my mother. You don't know they're waiting to put their resources together. So all we have to do now is to,
cut down on those.
We got to cut
actually,
down.
You know what I just realized? I talked about even the children in school. The amount of money that we spend in burial can even be used to build a house.
What about giving like you said, scholarship fund? They don't have to be. Maybe they're there, they have enough money so that we can, the living can bury him or her way. But leaving that legacy we are talking about, you can channel that money somewhere else where it can be more productive. Because what you're doing with 5 or 6 llamas is to feed the people. Once they eat, people get drunk there even. And they had a fight. Some people will fight. They go home and that's the end of it. Nobody will remember, oh, the one we buried 20 years ago, 10 years ago, oh yeah, there was much to eat. But if you train a child with that money, that child will grow up, maybe do the same thing to another person. And then, no matter what, even if that child or that person don't come to say thank you, your name will not be erased out of that person's life.
Exactly. And you know what just came to my mind while you were talking? Because I know sometimes people will be like, well, most of the people that we bury with like millions and millions of naira, they are older people, like older parents. But my advice is this: instead of wasting 10 million to bury your father or to bury your mother, if you really love your father and your mother so much, you can establish what is called a foundation. It could also be a scholarship foundation in the name of your mom. You can go, let's say if your mom's name is Cecilia, you can even establish Cecilia Foundation. And then that foundation will be able to, maybe instead of wasting that money, people that will come to the burial, you tell them this is a foundation that I'm setting on for my mother, in memory of my mom.
I don't mean to cut you. Do you know that this foundation you're talking about, that's how people find the causes of cancer? That's how, because, I don't know, most of us, we look at it around that when our parents died, that something, fetish or whatever is the cause. But we don't know the lineage, we don't know the history. Exactly. Some of us have the lineage of high blood pressure. Some of us, if they have stroke or anything, some have diabetes, some have sickle cell, some have any other kind of disease that is, because we don't go to hospital like that, or don't have, the right equipment to, to find out what the problem is. So when the person died, we don't know. So if we say this foundation you're talking about, let's say cancer that is all over the place now, let's say anything, pick a disease, so that the doctors will be working, they dip their hand in there to be able to find the cause of that or find what anybody has to do. They do research. Set the foundation. That will save so many lives. That's the way I'm looking at it, and to feed tons of people. Some people fall on the way while they're going because they're already drunk. Yeah, and they get out. Some get home and beat their wife up because they're drunk. Or where you go, where were you? So if they do more productive stuff, like this foundation you said, it will save so many lives. We will find cure for certain diseases that are, and then maybe we'll find the right way to eat. It could even be, nutritionally wise to set something so that, because we tend to put everything in our mouth. When we have food poison, we say, oh, they poisoned us where we went. You don't know that it's food poison. Whoever cooked it don't know. So we need to be enlightened in something like that.
Exactly. So just to cap our topic today in terms of the expensive burial, we have given a little bit of insight, and what I mentioned about the foundation, that I love what you added to it too, is that what we could do, there's a lot of foundations that can be set up. You can set up in memory of your father, in memory of your mother, and then,
in honor. They don't have to be dead for you to say the foundation. They want to live and see all those things.
But we're talking about the burial, so that means they're dead already.
Yeah, they can still set the foundation in honor of somebody.
Exactly. So you can channel that money into, something that is very important. Set it up. You can even use it even when people are coming to the burial. Like I said, you tell them to give you money instead of using that to buy nama. And then, and then you can even build like a mini clinic, even in your village, and call it your mother's name. Or build a library once again.
Or buy things to donate to the hospital. Like I remember when you did that.
Yes. yes.
You
yes.
buy a scale,
Exactly.
you bought this, the
That's
bed,
true.
you check the bed,
That's true.
and all that, you know.
That's
So
true.
we
That's
can
true.
do something
We can
in
do
a small
something
scale
like that.
too.
Yes, I mean, there's so many things that you can do. Even people, what they do here in the Western world, sometimes like one sex, I think I said it before too, they can even go to a hospital and then rebuild a small clinic and name it after your mom. So it would be like Cecilia's ward. And so that's how people channel the money. Instead of us just eating it, within 24 hours, it's gone. And then the bereaved will start suffering from then. So that's what we wanted to bring up today. And it ties us back to the financial ways that we're saying. This is, I strongly believe that we can do better to preserve our money.
We are wealthy though.
Yes,
We
yes.
really have money.
To spend
Our
that
people
money in
have
burial,
money, yes.
that means we have money.
We have money.
Yes. All right. So that's our topic today. And please, these are advice that we're giving. And we hope that little by little people can pick up on these things. I know Rome was not built in one day. But if we can start little by little, we'll be able to tighten our corners and save our money instead of wasting it. So God bless you for watching us. And we're looking forward to you watching us again next week.
Thank you, everybody. Until our next episode, you take care.
Thank
All
you.
right?
Thank
Bye.
you. And we appreciate all your comments. Once again, we thank the ones that have commented. And then the ones that we have not responded to, we will also
get to it.
Exactly, we'll
All
get
right?
to it. And watch
So
us
give
on
us,
Facebook
give us a feedback.
Yes,
so that we know how we are doing, and at the same time, you know, get more. If you have any topic you want to share, you send it to us too.
Thank
All
you.
right? God
Thank
bless you.
So our goal is to make our place better, because no matter how sweet any other
No matter
place,
where you are.
exactly.
They say East and West, home is the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank
Thank
you. And continue, as I said earlier, to send us a feedback. It's so encouraging because we're getting so many people watching it. So please continue to watch it and continue to encourage us with your words of wisdom. Thank you very much.